Hi everyone, in this video I'll be talking about the statement of need application process for the J-1 visa for Indian medical students. So the first step is to find the most recent application, and you can find this on the CGI or the Consulate General of India website. You just have to Google it. And then they have these guidelines. If you're not sure, you can always email them, and they're very responsive by email, and they'll basically just send you this same application. So um, here's the application. So it's a pretty straightforward application. Um, you have to attach a copy of the offer letter. Initially, I thought the offer letter meant that I had to attach my signed contract, but that's not true. I asked them before, and they said that any email or any document that says that they're offering you a position at their institution should suffice for this process. You have to attach your copy of your passport, your visa, and the surety bonds. So that's the tough part, I guess. Getting the surety bonds. Oh, and if you're doing this outside of India, you need to get the attestation from the Indian Consulate, and I have a separate video on it that I will post the link in the description. So this is the Annex A, which is basically like a cover letter. Um, I would want you to edit the application, and let me show you how I did it. So you want to put your ECFMG or your USM, the ID number over here. So basically make sure you edit that because there's no other place to put your ECFMG number in it. And then the other part of the application is pretty straightforward in the sense you write your details, your parents' details, your passport details. Now, the name and the course of study. In the first one, you do write your medical school details. This is for residency. For fellowships, most residents have already obtained their SON previously, and they say that you should furnish details of the SON certificate that we obtained earlier. So, one of the questions that I had when I was applying is like, what kind of details? So, apparently, based on a previous SON format, I figured out which details they would want. So, you kind of like expand this column a little bit and write about your internal medicine details, the year in which you are anticipated to graduate, and then you have to also attach a copy of your SON. Um, so I hope you have a copy still with you. And then you basically just write the date of issue of the SON, the specialty, your beginning of your residency date, the duration of the course, and then the institution where you did your residency. And this would also apply for subspecialty fellowships. You just would make another other such section for fellowship. And then you finish your writing about your MCI registration and your the program that you're applying for. So for people applying for residency, this would be your residency details, and then for people applying for fellowships, it's going to be your fellowship details. And then you basically just sign this. Um, then you have to have this bond on a executed on a stamp paper, and you basically just write your details, and you are the obligor. So you basically write your address, your medical school, and the address of your medical school. And now you have to fill in details of two sureties. One of them is going to be a relative of yours, and it could be any relative, your mom, dad, brother, somebody who's basically just related to you. And the second person is going to be a gazetted officer. They have their requirement for the gazetted officer as well, that they should not be they should they should have at least 7 years of term left, and they like a minimum tenure of 7 years should be left for the gazetted officer to be eligible to fill your bond. And the bond basically says that if you don't return to India, your relative will pay 5 lakh rupees, and if they're not able to pay the 5 lakh rupees, then the gazetted officer will pay it. And this is why it's very hard to find a gazetted officer who's willing to sign your documents. So good luck with that process. So you finish this, it's pretty straightforward. Then you basically sign over here, and then any two witnesses, doesn't matter who it is. So you kind of like write their name and then the address, and then the first surety signs in front of two witnesses, and then the second surety, which is the gazetted officer, will sign in front of two witnesses as well. Um, and then you need the biodata form for surety one, which is your relative. So you post a picture of them, write their details, any other identification cards that they have, and then you get the details of the assets. For my assets, I think I only had filled the cash in hand, cash at bank, and the jewelry part, because I was so broke. And then you just write the net worth, and then signature and the relationship with the applicant. And then the gazetted officer basically fills this part, and then you send all of these documents to the Ministry of Health. This is the address. You don't really need to go to New Delhi to do this. You can just do it by mail. That's what I did. And they send you an envelope which looks like this. So they send it by speed post. And this envelope has another envelope which is a sealed envelope that you have to send to ECFMG, and it looks like this. So it has like seals on it. Um, because it's 2020 and we are in the middle of the pandemic. So last year, ECFMG actually agreed to the Ministry of Health in India agreed to send the statement of need via mail and via electronically via email as well. So you basically send the documents to ECFMG, to the Ministry of Health, via an email, and then they'll send an email that looks somewhat like this. So they basically CC ECFMG, or they send this email to ECFMG and they CC you, and then they have like the ECFMG ID number and everything. So it's pretty great, and it expedited the process a lot. Make sure that when you're applying, that you have the most updated information. So make sure you call or email the Consulate General of India, Ministry of Health. They are pretty responsive to emails, and they're responsive over the phone as well. So, and if you have any questions, post in the comments below, and I'll be happy to help you out. And I'll be posting the links that I use in this video in the description. Stay awesome.